Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. I'm a partner now. What? This is part of an initiative we're doing to be able to spread um, more of the discussion regarding the role of the law firm partner. My name is Eduardo Pais. I'm a law firm consultant for over 12 years now, and I'm also the executive director of a program called the Young Partners Retreat, and I host the YouTube channel called Young Partner Series, in which we interview important managing partners and legal sector personalities to discuss different issues regarding the transition between senior associate or director into a partnership role. All right, so let's get to it. Um, so let's think of a scenario. You've been working 15 years at a law firm. You're great executing. Um, Everybody likes you at the law firm. You've done the partnership track, and now you became partner. There's champagne. There's the LinkedIn publication where everyone is congratulating you, and the day after you wake up as a partner. If not most of the times, when a lawyer is named partner, after all that emotion settles, they might feel overwhelmed. Since a great associate, a great lawyer, does not necessarily understand the role of a partner, but when they are named, people suppose that they already understand it. They may have led a team, but have they really been in charge of its performance? When they move to a partner, they're in charge of the performance and the metrics of their teams. They normally are experts in their practice area, but they're unfamiliar with the legal trends that are happening in other countries that relate to their market. And this is the one where a lot of the lawyers struggle the most. They are very, very good technical attorneys, but when they make the transition into the partnership, they had to start developing new business and a customer base for themselves, and they have no idea how to do that and how to develop new business. So the transition becomes a little bit overwhelming. So before we go even further, I wanna set the playing field and let you know that when we talk about a partner in a law firm, we're talking about all of the different types of partners in this specific talk. We're talking about the equity partners, which are already own part of the law firm, they're ownership based, and the non-equity partners, um, any way that they're called, if they're called practice area partners, they're just title partners, or they're uh, external partners, any way in which someone has the title of partner, we are making reference in this conference. We don't make a difference between equity and non-equity because we believe that in order for a non-equity partner to be considered for equity, he needs to act like an equity partner from day one. That's why we don't make any differences in this conference. All right, so um, to keep setting the playing field, we also need to understand what changes when you become a partner. I mean, there are obvious reasons like the title in your business cards, but there are a lot of other things that are not so obvious, that are more subtle, that also change. First one, and this might be a shock to a lot of you, when a lot of the partners that we have worked with over the years, that are over 120 partners through the Young Partners Retreat and over 300 through our business development programs, they make partner and they don't understand that their compensations generally change because maybe they don't change the exact day in which they're named partners, and they keep receiving a salary and bonuses like if they were associates. But there becomes a point in which their performance is going to be the one that will set the exact dollar amount that they will take home, either via profits or either via commissions based on their personal performance, either being their client portfolio, how much billable hours they do, the performance of their teams, etc. So when these metrics change, this is probably one of the most shocking times in a career of a lawyer when they turn partners, because they were taking home, I don't know, 4,000, 5,000, $6,000, and suddenly that drops to 2,000 because it's based on metrics that they were not used to control and to work on. So a partner needs to understand the compensation, because that compensation is what's going to set their priorities on what the firm's value for them to do at that point. Um, an associate's main responsibility is basically legal execution. What a law firm expects from an associate is for them to become technically excellent. And that normally is what helps them grow through that career path and eventually make partner. But the responsibility shifts when they make partner. They no longer are evaluated just in their technical abilities and their technical knowledge, but in how they understand the business of law, how they develop clients, how they take care of those important clients and make them grow, how they um, manage their teams, how they help fix the firm's strategy. The responsibility shifts. And this is another problem that associates face when they make partners, because we tend to stay in our comfort zones. And our comfort zone is the technical execution of law, handling cases, making contracts, doing analysis. But the the main responsibility when you become a partner changes, and that becomes an accessory of the things that are needed from you to be able to keep growing your career. Those will depend much more in factors that are unrelated to technical execution. Another thing that changes is the evaluation criteria. When you're associate, there was an objective part of your evaluation, like your billable hours, how much you were charging clients, or invoicing, etc. But there was also a subjective part that depended on how the other partners saw you, and that could also uh, change or affect how you were seen. And even if your objective performance wasn't great, by being a good team player and being liked by the other partners, that could balance it out. But when you're a partner, the subjective part in the evaluation criteria is removed, and you're being evaluated just by objective uh, performance. Like, how's your portfolio doing? How's your team doing? Are you billing? Are you bringing new clients? Are you putting in the time that it's expected um, to be billed by a partner? So the criteria shifts, and even though everybody might like you, and everybody might think the world of you, it's not going to get adjusted just on that likability, like it could be when you were an associate. Another thing that changes, well, the growth opportunities. When you were an associate, there was a career path, there was a career track. You know where you were going, you know what to do to go from associate to senior associate to director to partner. Now that you're a partner, those lines are not that clear. So the growth opportunities are different. It's not like you're going to make a different type of partner every time. I mean, you could go from non-equity to equity, but the growth opportunities change. Here is how much influence you get to have in the law firm. If you're going to have leadership roles, if you're eventually going to make it to managing partner, if you're going to have more equity, if you're going to improve your compensation structure, it's not as clear as it was as an associate. So it's very important for a partner to understand all of this and make a plan to keep growing. The plan of growth depends on the partner, while when you were an associate, it depended on the law firm to administer your career to help you keep growing. And the last thing that changes was leadership. Clearly, when you are an associate, well, you might lead junior staff, um, you report to partners, and you might have some involvement in some strategy, especially regarding your practice area. When you become a partner, you're not only supposed to be the leader of your bubble of your team, but you're also supposed to be a leader for the entire firm. You have to be involved in the firm's strategic direction. You need to take responsibility and take ownership of entire teams and their performance. And although you might report to the managing partner or to more senior partners, here the reporting is more of honor and responsibility matter. I mean, no one is dragging you to do what you're supposed to do here. You report just in order to be able to help you improve your metrics. What is not like you have a boss. That relationship changes, and you need to embrace that kind of leadership. So, to give you a summary, a partner is responsible now that he's become a partner. First and foremost, developing business. Most definitely, a partner should be bringing clients to the law firm. This is the way in which we grow the pie instead of eating just a piece of the pie of somebody else. A partner should be involved in leadership and organizational culture, should be managing relationships with clients and with other actors in the legal market and sphere. Um, they should be involved in conflict resolution between partners, between associates, between administrative staff. They supervise and they lead associates, participate in committees, participate in firm management and decision making, in continuous improvement of the firm, and in financial management. This last one's important. When when someone becomes partner, it's their responsibility that there's money at the end of the month to pay everyone's salaries. When we were associates, well, it was somebody else's problem if there was money to pay for the salaries for everyone or to pay for the bank loan and that kind of thing. When we're partners, we might not be directly responsible when we're just named partner, but we should be interested in how it's being managed and how we can help in that part. It will help you grow a lot and receive a lot of respect from the other partners if you collaborate and contribute with the financial management burdens of the firm. And last but not least, a partner, whatever type of partner, equity, non-equity, whatever, needs to have an ownership mentality. That is their biggest responsibility. A partner should work at the law firm with a mentality that it's their own. It's your business, not anybody else's. It's your business. We have this picture here of someone like fixing a painting because when we were in the first Young Partners retreat, a partner from Greenberg was talking about the different roles of the partner, and he would tell the participants, if that painting is crooked, it's my responsibility to fix it and make sure it doesn't move again. That's having an ownership mentality. And any partner that does not develop that mentality, that does not change from employee to owner, is not going to grow very much within the ranks of the partnership of the firm. And I insist, because I know some of you are thinking right now, but I'm a non-equity partner. I'm not really an owner. If you keep thinking that you're not really an owner, you will never become one. So the most important shift when someone becomes a partner is embracing the fact that they now own that law firm and that anything that happens inside it, it's also their responsibility and it will affect them directly. All right, so now we understand the different responsibilities. We know that we need to have a ownership mentality. Please, if there are any questions, just write them in the chat and we'll address them at the end. Um, so the question would be right now, all right, I a lot of though I have an ownership mentality, I do very well bringing in business. I try to manage, but I don't feel like I had that much influence in the firm. How could I have more influence within the firm now that I'm a partner? Well, there are basically 5 or 6 aspects in which you can improve their influence in the firm, and a mix of all of this would make you that superstar partner that everybody wants to have and wants to engage with. Of course, the first one and the most visual is how many clients are you bringing in. It's related to business development and revenue generation. Those two are the fastest way into getting influence within the firm. Because if you represent 20% of the invoicing of the firm, 25% keep bringing business, your clients give work to everybody in the firm, that's automatically going to give you influence within the firm. Another important factor is the seniority and the experience. Well, there's nothing we can do there, but just let time pass. But of course, the partners that founded the firm or the partners that have been mentoring all the other partners for 20 years, 25 years will have an influence in the in how the firm operates, and not only because of the time they have there but the experience they have been operating in. So that's also an influence factor. Another influence factor is how much you contribute to firm management. I always tell partners that are not that great business developers, well, first I tell them they should become great business developers, but while they're at it, they can contribute to firm management. It's a known fact that lawyers, well, most of the lawyers, because there are lawyers that do like it and are great at it, don't like to handle management issues. Don't like to handle office management. Don't like to handle finances, human resources. That's the one that, from my experience, lawyers like the least, like having to deal with problems with the staff, um, marketing, systems, all that stuff. It's handled by committees sometimes, and they're just handing it off to another lawyer. So if you become that lawyer, that partner, that is the one that has all the systems in control, it's contributing to setting up new systems at the firm. He's the one that's always taking care of hiring. So he's the one's always taking care of firing, of having a good culture and within the firm, staff, etc. That's going to also give you an edge, an increment your influence within the firm. And the last factor that we're going to talk about here is their network and reputation. There are partners which are valued more because of the relationship that they have with government officials, judges, contacts in the private sector, contact with other lawyers. I mean, these are highly liked partners in the society, and that also gives them an influence within the firm. So building a good network, being liked by well, no one is liked by everyone, but a lot of people in the sector will go a long way into improving your influence within the firm. And why do we tell you all this? Because partners that have more influence within the firm have a greater impact or are more respected. So that will allow them to push the strategic decisions they believe in, or having a, even though you will be told, and everybody will be told, that one vote, one head, or the vote is based on equity, or that kind of thing. The truth is that the partners that have more influence, their vote might not be technically worth more, but it does sway a lot of the decisions. So the more influence you have, the more you can influence what strategic decisions are made within the firm. Also, resource allocation, if you're a partner that has a more influence within the firm, you might get more resources for marketing, for execution, etc., because the rest of the partners will be interested in freeing up your time or incrementing your influence within the firm. And to do that, they will be willing to allocate more resources either to you or to your practice area. Partner has more influence, has more decision in who is being hired or how many people are being hired for their areas. They are being taken into consideration to represent the firm, go to the IBA, go to INTA, represent them with the Bar Association, the New York Bar Association, that kind of thing. Um, and if they say, I want to go, probably the firm's going to accept for them to go more than imposing somebody else. The partners that have more influence can push innovation initiatives, can push softwares, can push AI, or can stop those also. So it's if you are one of those partners that has an influence, you want to be open to new ideas in the future because you might turn to be one of the persons that is blocking innovation in your firm. So when you gather that influence, just make sure to be aware of that. And also, a partner has more influence, has the power to resolve internal conflicts much more easily. All right. So, being said, all of that being said, there is a reality. The economic factors that we have discussed will weigh more in your influence within the firm, much more than the management or the political factors. But as I said, while you're getting great at the economic factors, you can combine those with the management or political factors within the firm and have a fairly influential career. Whereas if you do both, you become that superstar partner that you're thinking of right now. All of you know a superstar partner, and you're thinking of right now, and you can become that one. But to become that excellent partner, you need to be highly proficient in bringing clients and invoicing, and highly proficient in managing the law firm. So basically, there are two economic factors: strong client portfolio, and that your portfolio and your practice generates more profits for the firm than your peers. If you work in those two and you're excellent at those two, you will have a lot of influence at the firm. And then you combine it with one of these or two or three of this to even give you a higher influence within it. So, as I said, you can monitor the firm's finances, actively participate in firm management, being able to grow and build international relationships for your firm. You can show leadership and strategic vision. You can develop and mentor talent, contribute to the firm culture and values, be the one that brings the innovative projects. And also, as more time goes by, you will be increasing your influence within the firm just by your seniority and the respect that you will receive by having been in the firm for a lot of years. You will see in here and in our programs that we are a very actionable consultancy. Um, Whenever we do a webinar or a program, we want for everyone that listens to it to actually leave there with actionable plans that they can do right away to help them achieve the reason why they were hearing us in the first place. So if you are here, you probably want to know how can you have more influence within your firm and understand the different roles of the partner. So we've talked about the roles, and regarding those roles, and deeply related With the influence, we would like to recommend you to try and do some of the following activities in order to start that increasement of your influence within the firm right away. So first off, I know build a strong client portfolio. Yeah, like if it was that easy. Maybe building the entire portfolio is not that easy, but doing this one thing definitely will be. Just go to a client that you are taking care of right now. I don't mind if you brought that client to the firm or some other partner brought it and it become assigned to you, and just ask them for a referral. Just tell them, look, I love working with you. I love working with HR managers. Um, and since you're one, you probably know other managers. And I just would like you to recommend me to some of your friends from university. I know you're thinking right now that I'm crazy, but it works very well because that's the best way to get clients. The most comfortable way to get clients is through referrals. But the problem is that we don't actively provoke those referrals. So just try it once, try it with that one client that you have so much confidence in, that you have a great relationship with, that you would be able to have them at dinner with their wife at your house, and just ask them point blank, look, could you recommend me to other managers like you, to other business owners like you? And you'll see that it will work great, and you will start building a client portfolio and getting more influence within your firm. Another thing you can do is just monitor the firm's finances. As a young partner, you might not be able to dig into the law firm books and get access to every financial metric that there's for the firm, but just sit with the finance manager and ask them to explain to you, look, how does the firm cash flow work? How's the payroll? How much money do some clients owe us? How can I contribute to better financials, or at least have them explain the metrics of your practice area and your personal metrics? That's information that you should have access to. So just ask them, look, how am I being financially measured within the firm? Do that this week. Sit with the finances guy or sit with the finances partner. Just tell them, look, I want to understand more. I want to help you out doing this. Actively participate in firm management. If there are committees in your firm and you're not part of one yet, become part of one, or initiate a committee that doesn't exist yet. Look, we don't have a technology committee. I'm going to start it. And this committee is going to be in charge of monitoring technology advancements for the law firm sector. We're going to propose different tools that we can implement in different practice areas or firm wide, etc. Lead or initiate a committee. Have lunch with a partner at least once a month. Foster those interpersonal relationships. The internal ones and the external ones, they're both very important. There's this very good book that's called Never Eat Alone. You could read it and try to apply it. If you would have lunch with a different partner once a month, but if you want to take this to the next level, make it once a week, and with someone influential on other industries that you've served, etc., once a month, your network's going to grow and your influence is going to grow because you're going to start having real relationships, real personal relationships with these people, not just professional. And when somebody knows and likes someone, that offers influence to that person. Ask if the firm has a strategic plan. If there's no strategic plan or no strategic direction, you can always suggest hiring a professional consultant to help you guys build one. Get involved with lawyers outside of your practice area and mentor them. You probably already mentor people in your practice area. You're helping these lawyers become better because it's in your best interest that they become better since they're in your area. But demonstrate a team mentality and try to take care and develop and mentor people outside of your practice area. Help anyone that's underperforming or grab a high performer. Tell them, look, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to make you a better lawyer than you already are. And sit with them once a month and help develop that that talent that has in your that it's in your firm. And this is in case you don't have a mentorship formal program, which you can also promote that the firm has. But if you have if the firm has a mentorship program that you're not part of yet, find the one that's involved. That's leading it, and say that you want to get involved. Developing and mentoring, it's a great way to show that you care about the firm. And also remember, the associates of today are your partners of tomorrow. So you might want to start building that influence with them right away. Contribute to the firm's culture and values. Ask the tough questions. What do we believe in as a firm? What are we willing to do? What are we unwilling to do? Are this written? Define, because every law firm has a culture. What might not be fully developed in your law firm is that it's written down and it's understood by everyone. So start the discussion and take lead in defining and writing down the culture and values of your firm. And last but not least, you could take initiative in innovative projects. So right now, AI is all the hype. Somebody has to lead and understand what it's all this hype about AI and in which practice areas or in which activities it could help you make you more efficient. Um, but it's not only that. I mean, you could also do pro bono work or promote pro bono work at your firm. You can see because this happens in a lot of firms. They're always complaining about how old their management system is, but nobody takes the time to actually evaluate new programs and the process that it would be to change from the old one to the new one, and lead that initiative. If you lead that initiative and that project, you will gain influence on the firm. So take initiative on innovative projects. Um, so you don't need to do it alone. I mean, I know this sounded like a lot. If you get two or three of those, and we will be sending this presentation, this recording, so that you can check them out and pick two or three in which you can focus right now. Because it sounds like a lot, but we do believe that you don't have to do it alone. We built a community of young partners called the Young Partners Alumni, in which we all help each other into executing all of these things and improving the different parts, the different members of the firm's career. We do that through our program called the Young Partners Retreat. The Young Partners Retreat is it's a 3-day program that we do in Miami. This year is going to be from 28th of October to October 30th, in which we bring partners of all of Latin America and Brazil to understand profoundly the role of the partner and develop tools to go back to their firms and be exceptional partners. We do this through high level speakers. We have amazing speakers. There's always with us a professor from Harvard called Michelle DeStefan that teaches them client centricity. We have Sharon Abrahams that's been a performance coach for partners for the last 30 years. That is the one that did the training program for partners at Greenberg, McDermott, and Foley Lardner. I teach you guys some business development and help you leave there with a methodology in which you can organize all your business development activities in 1 hour. And we always have people from the Legal 500 or from Latin Lawyer telling us how the market's doing, what are the trends, what's happening in the market, so that you all understand internationally what are the opportunities that you can embrace. The other approach that we do is we get real experience from other partners. We visit law firms in Miami and talk with the with the partners in charge of the Latin American practice. We go to Greenberg, we go to Hogan Lobos, and we go to Holland and Knight, and we do panels with these partners in which, if in the morning we talked about business development, they tell us how they approach business development. If we talked about the roles of the partner, they explain to us how they organize themselves in committees. So it's very interesting to see how those firms actually embrace all of the theory that we learned in the mornings. And the last approach is conscious networking. We believe that the community is the most important thing that you will leave Young Partners Retreat with. Um, and we help everyone become really, really, really good friends with everyone that's there. So you leave Young Partners Retreat with 49 other contacts from all of Latin America, um, to be able to exchange work with them, receive work from them, uh, having someone that you can ask them, look, this is happening in my career. How would you handle it? And having that network of young partners that's not available anywhere else. And the good thing is that we also do different activities throughout the year, like webinars or gatherings at the IBAs, etc., where we invite not only the people you were with that year, 2025, but also the 120 other partners that were there the last 3 years. So at the end of this year, we're going to have a community that's 170 people, but grows 50 people every year. So it's a very interesting network to be involved with, and it opens up a lot of opportunities for everyone. And what we look for is that after you participate in the Young Partners Retreat, well, you gain clarity what it means to be a partner at a law firm. You build business development plan, start attracting clients immediately. On the second year, I make them contact people right there. And a Colombian lawyer just gets up and screams, "Oh, I have a meeting with the bank's in-house lawyer!" Like right there. I mean, we do it right there. You will receive tools to actually design client-centered services, learn how to lead teams, and understand what's going on in the Latin American legal services market. Since you were here or you received this presentation, you will get a discounted price of $2,900 instead of $3,200. So make sure to let us know that you heard about the Young Partners Retreat through this masterclass. Um, if you want any, if you need any more information, there's a link to a Calendly in the email where you will receive this recording, or we will be sending you an email to everyone that's here so that you can book a call with me to understand if you have any questions and understand how you can enroll, etc. And for now, if you want more information, you can visit our website, swipeyardlatam.com. You'll find all the information you need there, how to register, and you'll also find our Young Partners Series YouTube channel where you can get much more information in how to being an exceptional partner. Well, thank you everyone for being with us. Now we will be addressing the questions that are here in the chat. But I wanna take the opportunity to thank everyone and invite them to engage with us. If you have any questions, we can help with anything. Our passion is helping young partners. So drop me an email, send me a LinkedIn chat, whatever you feel comfortable with. We will always be open to helping every young partner in the region to become their best self as partners in their law firms. Thank you very much. All right, let's see those questions.